So welcome back to the T2 Hub with me, Martin Johnson.
Me, Spencer Locker.
We've been inundated from our customers, Spence, around the one thing that they're struggling with at the minute in HR or since the return after COVID. And I say after COVID, it's still going on now. But one of the things organisations are going to struggle with is reward and recognition structures. How to keep rewarding and recognising their employees without the financial backing in a financially constrained world, so where we can't give everybody pay rises or bonuses or commissions due to the nature of the environment at the minute. But it's still important to reward people for their hard-earned effort, right? How do you do that? What are the different forms of recognition and reward other than giving people money?
One of the things that we do say, we've been saying since as long as I can remember, is one of the essential skills or essential things that you must do as a leader is to know your people. And if you know your people, you will know that it's not all a couple of quid in the pay packet. As much as you said, it is welcome. Everybody sort of welcomes that. However, when it comes down to reward and recognition, it's got to be personal. It's not like a generic email. Thank you very much for all your hard work and effort that everybody gets, because nobody feels as though they have been recognised or what they have done has been recognised.
Reward. So what you're saying is reward and recognition is different things to different people.
Yeah.
For the past month, we have been surveying people quite aggressively, trying to get as many data points as we can around what they value from a reward and recognition perspective. And this comes from different people in different walks of life in all organisations at all levels of different businesses. So what we came up with is like a checklist of the top 50 things that would constitute reward and recognition, both financial and non-financial. Here's the top 4 selections from a number of people in terms of what they value from their employer in terms of reward and recognition. Number 1, with 32% of the vote so far, is flexible working.
Right, yeah.
Now, flexible working is it does not directly have a financial repercussion, right? Flexible working means, in the descriptor, it means I am trusted to work flexibly between working from home, working on site, the hours that I work, the routine that I work. As long as I am being productive and I am producing for the organisation what they need from me, I'm allowed to work flexibly. And I think that's a really telling sign. 32%, number 1, top of the vote so far. And don't forget, these people we still included the financial reward and recognition. Yeah. We still included pay rise and bonuses and everything. So number 1, flexible working, 32%. Number 2, at 31%, is a pay rise, right? So it's not surprising that still 31% of people actually just want a pay rise. Number 3, however, a well-being investment. So 27% of people so far have said, even if it's not cash in my hand or in my bank or a pay rise or a bonus, when my company actually invests in something that allows me to increase my well-being, whether it's a gym membership or whether it's some type of healthcare testing in the workplace or access to a nutritional therapist or whatever it might be, jogging clubs or golf clubs or whatever it might be, something that allows me to invest in my well-being, and that's funded by the company or put on by the company. I value that. So that's a really interesting one. 27% of people said a well-being investment, even if it's not a direct financial personal investment, is important. Number 4, 26%, number 4, private praise. 26% of people valued private praise. Now, if I just give you the next 3 in line, that was over an annual bonus, a promotion, or a verbal written thank you. Private praise. In private, when I've done a good job, taking me aside and taking time to let me know. So they're the top 4, Spence, and I think as this evolves, we'll see if those 4 are still there in another month's time. But flexible working has rated the highest form of reward and recognition right now through COVID. Organisations have an opportunity to take advantage of that and exploit that. I know we can't all do it with shift patterns and certain ways of operation, but what can you do and where can you do it? Spence, is there a couple of things that you wanted to point out on top of that in terms of what we're trying to uncover about reward and recognition in a financially constrained environment?
Yeah, there's a few things. I've made a couple of notes, and I've got an example, really. It needs to be done, it needs to be relevant. Relevant, yeah. It needs to be relevant. If you do something, it needs to be relevant to what you've done. And so, if you sort of do a little bit over and above, or you achieve a little bit over and above, give them a thanks. As you said, take them to one side, say thank you. Doesn't have to be a big song and dance, ticker tape parade and marching band. Doesn't have to be like that. As we know, there are people out there with some unconscious motivators who like to be appreciated, but they don't want the big show. They feel embarrassed about that. So yeah, a little bit of private praise, but it needs to be relevant to what they've done. It needs to be immediate. So when timely. You do, timely. So if you do something right or wrong. If you do something wrong, you get punished for it, won't you? Straight away. They won't sort of say, "Oh, I'll do it next month." So if you do something right, it needs to be there, and it needs to be there and then. Personalise it. As you said, you know your people. You know what? A little bit of thanks and prayer, a little bit of private thanks. They would appreciate that. So let's do that. But it's when we start looking at lists. I mean, we've got lists here that I've put together, but some companies will take it literally. So I'm aware of a company, we haven't worked with them, but I've been made aware of them, that they do regular one-to-ones. I think it's every 2 or 3 months. So they'll get people in and do a one-to-one with them, and they'll do the positive criticism. So if they've done something right, if they've gone over and above and done something right, they'll say something in the one-to-one. You know what, 2 months ago, straight away, it's not timely, 2 months ago you did this right, okay? However, I've also got to give you a criticism because that's what it says on the format. I've got to criticise something. Yeah,
I've got to.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and that then becomes insincere because it's sort of a checklist approach rather than in the moment.
It's not genuine, and it needs to be genuine. Both reward and recognition. It needs to be genuine because if it's not genuine, then it means nothing.
And tying into what you're saying here, there's 3 results on the survey so far that tie into that. At number 4 is private praise, 26%. Number 5 is verbal or written thank you, 21%. Public praise is slightly less than private praise, so not everybody likes to praise in public, right? It's 13%. But either way, what in the top 10 results so far, people are saying it's just about acknowledging what I'm doing in a timely fashion, where it's due, and being sincere.
Yeah.
So there's an opportunity for us to work with managers and through management structures to be able to really understand how we give timely feedback and praise in the moment based on what people are doing. So we'll keep our powder dry, Spence, I think, for now, because we've got a load of stuff here, but we just wanted to sort of give you a snippet of why it's important, but we acknowledge that right now it's not just about pay rises and bonuses, and many organisations are not blessed to do that right now.
No.
It's survival mode. But we're only going to get through this if we engage our people, and we're only going to engage our people if we keep rewarding and recognising their efforts. But we've got to get creative with it. So we're going to put a load of focus on this in the coming weeks.
Cool.
Spencer Locker, thank you very much.
Martin Johnson, it's a pleasure.